Here's our schedule for, I guess, today and tomorrow because there's testing. So I don't think that there's ACE today, which means that all the class periods are a little bit different. So it looks like today, we have this class until 10:35. So things are a little bit different. No, it's kind of weird. I guess third period is out earlier, so fourth period is longer. I don't know. In any case, that is our schedule for today. Today, we're going to review graphing lines. So the first question, write the equation of each line in slope-intercept form. So we need to remember what the pieces are. So when we're writing this, there's only two pieces that we need. We need an M and we need a B. What does M stand for? Mm-hmm. What's the B? Okay, the slope and the y-intercept. So for each one of these, we're going to identify those things. We need M and we need B. When we write our equation, we will have y equals something, something x. And we've got two spots that we're filling in. We're filling in something here and we're filling in something here. So let's figure out what our M and our B are. It's probably easiest to find out your y-intercept because it's just where you cross the y-axis. So for this one, my y-intercept is at -2. My slope, I need to find another point where I cross exactly. I could use that number right there where I cross the x-axis, that works. But now I need to find the slope. So to find the slope, we read books and we read graphs from left to right. So your slope is from left to right always. So my slope, it looks like I'm going up 2 and then I go over 4. So my slope 2 over 4. Does that reduce? To what? So these are the two things that I fill in the blanks with. I have 1/2 minus 2. You're going to take a few minutes and you're going to see if you can fill out the other 3 for the top section. Okay. On to the next section. So for the bottom, we are finding the slope given 2 points. So the ones that we're gonna do together are 7 and 8. But we're gonna change a few things. For question 7, we're gonna make that a -5 at the beginning. And for question 8, we're gonna make the second point, we're gonna make those positive. So my first step is to plot the points. So I'm gonna go plot those points for 7 and 8. Oh. Who can find my mistake? Mm-hmm. So these are both going to create lines. To figure out my slope, I have to figure out the rise over run. So you always have to go from left to right. So for 7, to get from my left point to my right point, I have to go down 1. And then I have to go over how many? Mm-hmm. Very good. So my slope is down 1 and over 10. Does that reduce? No. For the second one, I have to do the same thing from the left point to the right point. How do I get there? I have to go up and over. So I go up. Looks like 4, and then I go over 5. So up 4 and over 5. Does that reduce? Mm-mm. Okay, I will give you a couple of minutes to do the other 2. No, so, the slope is only the number in front, it's not the X. That's exactly right. All right, back onto the back. Do what? No, but you're welcome to come and ask if you need some help. So on the back, we're writing in point slope form. So point slope form is the formula that's up at the top. And to do this, we're gonna use the first point. So the way that the problems I'm doing, they're all down the left side, 9, 11, 13, 15, but I wanted to have them all on the same screen. So just be careful because this is not 9 through 12. So when we do these, We're going to be using the first point for each of them. So we have to find the slope in the equation. The slope is something that we just did. So first thing that we have to do is plot those points. And then I'm going to make my line. You have to graph everything on this page, so make sure that you do all of the graphs. To figure out my slope, I have to figure out from the left point to the right point, how do I get there? So I have to go up 3, and then I go over 3. So my slope is 3/3. Does that reduce to what? Just 1. So I have everything that I need to be able to fill in this formula. There's only 3 things that I fill in. I'm going to fill in the y, the m, and the x. So this is a point that's x and y. And then my slope, what letter is slope? M. So my equation, I'm going to have some blanks. I'm going to have y minus, then x minus. So I've got 3 spots that I'm filling stuff in. Right here, right here, right here. My slope is m. My slope is 1. So I just put a 1 there. For my x and my y, I have to be careful because y has to go with y. So when I look at my point, x is first. Well, x has to go with the x. So I put 2. The y, if I put it in there, what happens if I plug in -5? What's negative, negative? It becomes positive. When you write this, you don't have to write the 1 in front of the parentheses. So if this is a multiple choice question, you might see it like this. Because that slope is a 1, but I don't care if you put the 1 there or not. It's okay if you do. For question 11, I'm going to go plot my points. That's a different kind of line, right? I definitely have an up, but do I have any kind of over? No. So when we have lines like this, they have even special equations. So the slope for this one is weird. The slope for any kind of vertical line is undefined. And the equation is just which axis does that cut through? So that line, does it cut through the x-axis or the y-axis? It cuts through the x. So it makes an x equals equation. Where does it cut through the x-axis? A -1. So that is my equation. Hello. Thanks. So the next problem, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go plot those points. and -2, and then -3, -2. This is a weird line too. We definitely have an over, but does it go up at all? No, so this one has a funny slope too. This slope is 0. This equation works the same way. So it goes through one of the axes, one of the axes. Which one does it chop through? Why? We're at -2. Question 15. I want to see if I can get some volunteers to do this. So I can have a volunteer that can plot my points. I can have a volunteer that can write my slope. I can have a volunteer that can try and do the equation, but I'm going to let you guys volunteer to do this one so that I can see how you're doing. Okay, can I get a volunteer to plot the points for me? Those are good points. Can anybody make my line? Can I get a volunteer to make my line? Beautiful. Can I get a volunteer to show me the slope? No ace today. All right, 6/3. Are we going negative 6/3? Does that reduce? To what? Okay, -2/1, or just -2. So we have our equation. We've got y minus, and then x minus, and we fill in the blanks. So I'm going to use my point. This is my x, that's my y. The x has to go with the x. Now, if I have -2, it becomes +2. For the y, I have -1, so it becomes +1. And for my slope, I plug it in, it is -2. You guys are going to do the rest of this worksheet.